shelter of someone's arms. There you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs. There you were, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop and thank you, baby. I want to stop and thank you, baby. Yes, I do. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Feels so fine. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
We have a few things to say to you and some memories to bring up. So hold on to your hats.
Can't believe that it's real. The way that you made me feel.
What were your first impressions of Debs?
You mean Sue?
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 She is just dynamite.
Growing up, she was just like she is now.
Debbie showed me how to wash dishes by hand. And she also showed me how to do laundry.
The woman is just constant as the day is long.
She was the strong one, the leader, but then always in on with the gang.
If you're not willing and if you're not helpful, you know what? Okay, so be it. So I'm done with you.
Does this make him a surprise to everybody that's watching this? You're really quite the photographer. You seem to always be there at just the right time and place to capture just the right photographs, and of course distributing them to everybody immediately.
Relentless in her pursuit of what it is that she thinks needs to happen, needs to be, needs to come to fruition.
Well, yeah, so she kind of rolled into the picture when I would have had to been 8 or 9. According to her, I was quite smitten because I kept wanting to hug her and kiss her. They would come to the house and have dinner or something like that, then they would leave to go on a date, and I would invariably sneak out of the house and go hide in the back seat of their car. And they would take off driving through town, and I would pop up after a while. And like at some point, Debbie finally told John, it's like, could you just keep your little brother away from me? She's an amazing woman. She's an amazing sister-in-law. I don't even think her was a sister-in-law. She's an amazing sister.
The one thing that captures the essence of Debbie, once you have Debbie in your life, and for me and John, it's like an angel has just entered your realm and you will be blessed. That's how I experience them, and I know anybody that does experience John and Debbie, that's how they will be influenced as well.
He's easy to get along with and a great sounding board with ideas and suggestions. And I also discovered the subtle wit that he had, observing things happening, and would always have just the right thing to say, either clever or funny or intelligent.
He's a pianist. It just goes to my heart.
I mean, in the areas of thoughts and ideas and perspectives, he takes time to get there. And so it's very, very thought out.
What surprised me so much was that he was a cook. He cooked. I've never experienced that with my dad or even Mr. Wonderful here.
John as a kid was, he's always been a great brother. Always looked out for it. I've always had, or I used to always have, a very terrible aversion, and I hated crickets. If I saw a cricket, anything, crush it, kill it. If I was going fishing, I'd use crickets for bait, all that kind of stuff. We're sitting around at Christmas one year. John rolls up the story, oh yeah, well when I was little, they used to make me put David down for a nap. I'd tell him, don't get out of bed, because there's crickets underneath the bed, and they'll come out and bite your toes off. And I had this realization, and I just go, wow, that's why I hate crickets. And he turned white as a sheet. It was awesome.
She had to get my mother's permission to get married because of the age, I believe.
The thing that stands out in my mind was two of John's best friends, Brad and Wendell. They decided we got to mess with their car. So I think they had like a 65 Ford Falcon, just this side of a beater. So we decided to mess with them. So first thing we did was we went out and pulled the hubcaps off and put a handful of rocks in each hubcap and popped it back on the wheels. So when you drove the car, rattle, 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 rattle. We did that without them knowing. And then they were going to leave to take off on their honeymoon. John and Debbie pile in their car and they take off. I jump in the car with Brad and Wendell and we start chasing them through town, honking the horn, all this. They had to get, the just married stuff dangling off the back of the car. I think they drove the Falcon for 3 or 4 months before just listening to this noise, thinking, oh, there's just noise in the car. Before they actually, I think they had to pop a hubcap off to do something. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of rocks in here.
Would you say that that's on brand with John?
I was going to say, John's history of vehicle maintenance, having been raised in a car dealership, is started early on, which if anybody knows, it's not great.
Can you believe that my parents lived in Haight-Ashbury?
Yeah, because it was a place where I guess rents that they couldn't afford. And they went to California for John to go to school. And the first time that I came out was around 1979, 1980. And they lived in this little studio apartment. John was a TI or something at University of California in San Francisco, and he could get all these free passes to stuff. And so we did free stuff. My mother went. One time she rode the bus from Forest City to California. And then the first time she had ever flown was when Sam was born.
You don't remember, but you were my first roommate when I moved to California. So I think you were maybe 4 or 5 months old. They cared about me and loved me enough to say, hey, there's an opportunity out here for you. You're nice. It's not going to be something you're going to find in Arkansas. No, they just like, we're going to get you out of there. It was kind of like, we're coming out of Sing Sing.
Exactly.
So I had a futon in your room in the apartment in San Mateo. He was like, oh, he's going to live with us. He gets the 3 a.m. diaper change.
Right.
I put more diapers on your butt than any other butt in this country. So the approach to parenting, well, you're both still alive. Lovingly, overly protective might be the phrase.
Yep.
Be careful putting his shirt on. His arm might come off. Heard that a couple of times. Oh, well, it's July and we're gonna go outside. You're the only kid looking like the kid from Christmas Story in a full white parka in the summertime chasing ducks. Jessica wasn't as bad. Jessica was like, okay, get her ready, get her going. After a while, we all realized you weren't quite as breakable as we all thought. Having never had kids of my own, but I have you and Jessica because you're my kids. I've always thought of you that way. It's always been that way. And a lot of the caring and loving that I have for you, it came from this.
Like the night before the first day of kindergarten for Jordan and Sam, Debbie, in her very proactive way, invited me and Jordan to join her in the playground near Portola Valley, near our house. From that moment, something happened where we just sort of got connected and it just continued to grow. We're talking 34 years ago, coming this August.
God!
It was a connection that was never broken.
They demonstrated what adult friendship is. I think together we define what a modern day village is.
I think we were dropping off at the gym, is what it was. And she always seemed distracted. She was always on a mission, doing something, going somewhere. But I wanted to get to know her. And I said, I'd love to have, I don't know, whatever your pleasure, coffee, tea, whatever. And then she said, oh, you know, she finally kind of caught on. Like, I'm trying to get to know you better, kind of a thing. And so she goes, oh, you know, something or other. Well, let's set up the time. And I said, well, what about today? And she agreed. And then we got to know each other from that moment on. And every layer that I uncovered was more and more fascinating than the previous. Then I met your dad, and he was very shy. Highness could have been perceived as reluctance, maybe on his part, but it wasn't. I could see it right away. And then it was just lovely.
They were the first white couple that I met in my life that didn't see me first as being black, in every respect. And it influenced me. It influenced how I saw people. And I couldn't believe they were from Arkansas.
They are the most empathetic two people that I know. They can put themselves in other people's shoes.
Yes.
Even though their upbringing and experience has been different, they're just that open. First word that comes to mind for me is consistency, something that I kind of lack.
Not just doing the best for their children, but going above and beyond on the really important things.
She finds these great projects and I go, that sounds great, and I hop on the bandwagon. One was Kumon. So I started with our guys. Every I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. No wonder my kids don't want to do it, but Debbie was so committed to it and a little bit intimidating because she's not as consistent. She was also someone I aspired to someday be like, but I think I'm going to have to wait next life for this to happen because it ain't going to happen this time around.
They lavished you with experiences and education and not material things necessarily.
Committed to their kids and involved. Both are real critical. As involved and committed to you guys as you could be, to the family. When I say you guys, I mean family. Which, by the way, they had not only for you guys, but to our kids as well.
Wow, 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 wow.
Tell me about some of your favorite traditions that you've been voluntold to do along the years.
Oh, Lord.
And what the heck have they done with holiday parties?
Kids got grown up like we did the Kwanzaa thing, and even when I was ready to do it again, Debbie would get me motivated, and once we started it, we continued it for, I don't know, a decade plus.
And your dad helps put it all together. He puts the racks together. He will do it. She's got the idea, and he just goes ahead and makes it happen. You know, he makes it happen.
We will never be able to match them. So, way to go, you guys.
But you know, John, I like him to, you know, it would be a good idea to, oh, okay, he will make it happen. So it's adorable.
Commit to something, and it will be done how it's supposed to be done. without wavering, it's going to happen.
Well, pretty much anytime there was a meal associated with a holiday, you know, tell us something that you're thankful for about every person at the table.
When it was a celebration for your birthday or Jesse's birthday or Father's Day or graduation, there are words spoken or notes taken and left, something memorable and personal that would be stated or written and left to the person or the person's being honored. And that was something that I often need to be prepared to do. And sometimes it was hard, but it was, I could see how special it was, and it was just something she felt strongly about and made sure happened.
You know, and I'm going to hate admitting this, but I think it was a really sweet tradition to have, because it did make us stop and look at each other and say, you know what, I love you because of this. I know that means that she's immediately going to want to start doing it again, so I'm going to have to find somebody to shoot that down.
I'll do.
They're two very different people.
There's the techie guy who is always rescuing her. I don't know what it would be of her without him. Because, you know, she's Miss Techie, but the truth is, it's all his knowledge.
John is the scientist, and Debbie is the therapist.
Debbie's a go for everything. John was very calm and sweet and friendly.
In her house, it's John and I were cleaning the patio, or John and I were everything. John's included in everything. He does not get left out of anything.
The way he will just roll his eyes when, you know, I don't know, it's the nth time that she's suggesting or reminding or whatever, and he's already got it 10 times before. Jonathan Edwards, you know. I mean, all these little things that they do are just hysterical.
But together, they make up like a complete couple. They balance each other extremely well.
And you're always there for each other, for me, for your children especially, and for each other especially. And keep going in the last couple of years.
It's a true loving partnership. They are 100% in with each other, you know, on everything.
They are just soulmates from the start.
I see it as a resolve. It is a conscious decision that you know, this is my soulmate. Good, bad, indifferent, wrinkles and all.
They've just been completely in it together since the start, and you don't see that very often. And it still amazes me. It's one of the things that just I love and cherish about them both, that they're practically one person.
Yeah.
They're just that tied in together.
Where do you begin?
Maybe obsessed is a good word.
They are predictably awesome.
What are you doing today? Well, we're sitting in Redwood City right now, but we're driving to Sam's house to go do this and play around the kids, go do this. Then we're going to go to, you know.
I think, first of all, they are so involved, and not because they have to be, it's because they want to be.
Just, you know, it's a non-stop cabaret of travel. Lord knows how many frequent flyer miles are rolling up now, flying back and forth to Portland.
Yep, they're on the way up there today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, so between Orinda and Portland, they are all about showing up and creating an experience for your children that just enhances their lives, I think, and hopefully supports you and Jess, you know, and your families.
They are the grandparents we wish that our children you guys would have had?
They were in as grandparents from the start.
They are a terrific example to all of us of how grandparents can get involved.
Being grandparents isn't and never will be a competition for us, but you, John and Debbie, have totally raised the bar.
Oh, the racks with the beautiful dresses, dress up, the little units for shopping and for teaching and for, I mean, it was just, so she excels at that. She excels at that.
You devote tons of time to be with Nathan and Sarah. You engage with them at their level, and you're loving, calming, and always looking for ways to educate and entertain them. I know that you guys are going to continue to foster your love and continue to challenge Nathan and Sarah to take risks, establish their moral values in them, impart your knowledge to them, make them interested in exploring new ideas, places, and things, and just to be better citizens like you guys already are.
Friendship is rare. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Friendship is rare. My derriere, when you find out much later that they don't really care.
You want, I mean, how long do I have?
You both have been a wonderful teacher in my life.
They have touched my life in so many ways.
They are my chosen family in some ways, and I think we are that to one another.
We're family. We are family. The closest you have to family, to me, in this day and age, is the Taylors and Smiths.
I feel that you two are family to me. And thank you for that. Thank you for the commitment to this marriage and what that means to our entire family.
Talk about two just genuinely wonderful and amazing people who I get lucky enough to be related to as family. It's great.
Remember, this whole thing started out with just getting you and Jordan together. Debbie and Chris became very good friends very rapidly. And the next thing I knew, John was my brother.
There's so many ways that they have influenced my life by leading by example, setting standards that I can aspire to without even asking, helping me to be better.
Always be connected with
Long as there's a record deal, we'll always be
as a loved one, as a new family member, and I hope we've done the same.
And let me tell you when I knew how special the relationship was. When Debbie and John talked to us about the godparents of you and Jesse. I think when I was told that, I cried. I was just taken aback. And I knew how they viewed the relationship. And I knew how we viewed the relationship.
Any new friendship can be difficult, especially when it's the parents of your firstborn son. But I was delightfully amazed at how quickly both Pam and I were comfortable with John and with you and liked being with them. If we lived closer to you guys, we would be visiting you regularly.
I just want to thank you for your example of what it means to love, no matter what, through everything, and your presence, the enduring presence of love.
I just love them. There's nothing else to say. I thank them every day in my heart for getting me here. You know, letting me step on a path and build a life and become the person.
Happy You come too.
Oh, we're going to sing?
No, say it together.
Oh.
Happy 50th anniversary! I love you both, Sue and John.
Happy 50th anniversary. I love you. See you at cousin camp. Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary!
Hey, Debbie and John, just want to wish you guys a happy 50th anniversary. I love you guys very much. I hope you have a fantastic day celebrating it. I wish I was there, but I'm there in spirit.
Happy anniversary, John and Debbie.
Happy anniversary, John and Debbie.
A very happy 50th anniversary to Debbie and John. I've been very grateful to know both of you over the past 15 of those years. And, God bless the both of you in your marriage.
Happy anniversary, my dearest friends.
Happy anniversary, John and Debbie. 50 years.
We love you.
50 years. I hope I make it. Love you.
Again.
Happy
anniversary! We love you!